Hi, my name is James Bennett, and I'm going to do a wood carving, and I'm going to do wood carving of a skull as my first attempt of relief carving, so I hope you like it. So first of all, we put the stencil paper on the wood. Now the best type of wood to use would be basswood. Now I just take a few pieces of tape to put on the paper to make sure the carbon paper or the graphite paper sticks to the wood as I draw my stencil on. That way it doesn't move and the lines are as straight as possible, like so. I want to try to make it as tight as you can with probably as less wrinkles as possible. That way you get the most accurate lines, like so. So you basically got the basic here, just tape down as best as you can anyways. Try to get most of the wrinkles out. Now this is my stencil. I just printed it off on just your average printer. You just want to kind of eye it to make sure it's majority in the center. Pull up more. So you want to tape that down to the stencil paper, the graphite paper, sorry, like that. Just like that. Now, basically, as you have it, it's all down and taped. Now you just basically take your pencil and you go over the lines until your image will transfer. So I will make another video when I come back and show you basically what it looks like once it's done being traced. Hi. Okay, so come over here and I'll show you basically how it is. So I've took the piece of basswood and I put the graphite paper on the bottom and I taped the picture of the skull on the top of it. Now, basically we're going to remove the tape. Now, I always use a knife. Careful when you do so, don't cut yourself, just like so. Now I've already went over it and traced it with a pencil, so now we're going to see basically how it turned out. So that's the skull there of the stencil that we traced. Now I marked the X for the center. Now you don't have to do that. I always do just because I like to know basically how much room I have around it. So if you want to do a border or something like that. So yeah, that's basically that part for now. Now I'm basically just going to go over with my pencil as I look at the paper. And where it shows the black spots, I'm going to take my pencil onto the wood and I'm just slightly going to darken where there's black. So here, there. Now if you got a big piece like this, I mean it doesn't have to be completely, just kind of scribble to mark it in where it's going to be black. So that's all going to be black. That's all black. Right here. Right here. And And then all in here. Gonna be black. This all in here. Like I said, I mean, it doesn't have to be 100% perfect, because once you start carving, you're basically going to be taking away a little bit of wood at a time anyways, and you can always get your finer detail work done there. Like this is just a rough, basically, your rough print. So all that's going to be basically now how I have it all black, where the black color is, it's basically going to be lowered down, as the skull is going to stay up above. So it gives it like that 3D effect, so it kind of stands out. So all around the teeth and such, I mean, that's gonna be black, like so. I mean, you can add lots of detail or just do a basic like that. You know, I mean, you could add lines, whatever, however you want to do it, basically. Now, I'm going to stop the video now, and then when we come back, I will basically show you what it's like as I progress to take some of the wood off, and that way you guys can see kind of step by step how it goes. So please stay tuned into my channel, and we'll go from there. Thank you. Hi, okay, we're back for part 3 of carving the skull. Now what I did is I clamped the wood down onto the basswood with their picture on there. Now I got 2 clamps, that way, you know, I can't go anywhere, so that way when I start using my chisels, my gouges on there, then basically it's not going to slide off on me. Now I do have a mallet that I probably will use like so. Now the best type of mallet to use would probably be a rounder mallet. That way you always get the direct hit every time you use it. Now I also have a smaller one as well for smaller details. Again, round. That way as you're doing it, just pull one off here. Now this here would be a V tool. As you can see, the shape of the V. Now they are very sharp, mind you, so be very careful when you do it. As you can not notice, if you can see there, I basically cut off my whole thumbprint doing it. So yeah, basically though, so when you do it, little taps, and with it being round, it's always going to hit in the spot you want it to, basically. Obviously, bigger mallets are for a lot more power behind it. I mean, now you don't have to use a mallet. You can just basically do it by hand, as I will show you now. So basically, I'll redo the camera here above so you guys can see better. Can you see? Yeah. Okay, so now as we got the V tool, now we're just going to go around the edge. Now it doesn't have to be right on the line, actually. You don't want it to be right on the line of it, because you want to leave a little bit of space for when you use your bigger gouges. So, you know, just basically around it, like so. What this is doing is just basically breaking the fibers on it. And you want to keep your V tool always straight. Never turn it really, like so. Now, it is good to switch hands, as I've heard in some other carving videos. So yeah, again, you're going around the line. What you're doing basically is just breaking the fibers of the wood when you do it. That way you're not getting any heavy duty chipping and whatnot. Now, I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, yes, it's obviously better if it is, you know, one line. Like I said, this is my first time doing relief carving, so yeah, bear with me here. And I'll just go around it like so. pause the video while I finish doing just around the skull, and then when I come back, we'll continue on. No, start it down here. Okay, so we've took the V-chisel, as you can see here, and we basically went around the outline like so. Just kind of press on it. Now, basswood, I think personally is the best type of wood to use. That, butternut, white pine, but I find white pine is kind of chippy. It basically chips off, and you don't want it to break where you know your detail is or anything like that. So basswood, yeah, I would probably say is one of the best woods to use. So anyways, now that we got our outline there, so now we are basically going to go for a gouge. Now a gouge is basically, it's got the U shape as you see here. Now this one here is a number 5 gouge. Now basically all we're going to do is basically see if it fits under design. As that one doesn't quite, so I mean we'll go to a bigger one. Now this gouge here, this would be a number 3. As you can see, it's much larger and not quite of a sloop on it, but there is a little one. Now we will see here. As you can see, that basically fits where the skull is. Now, I mean, you could use a smaller one. I mean, if necessary, you know, just, you know, kind of go around it like that. Make sure the one edge is still up as you do so. Okay. So, now, we'll use a little mallet here. Now, I had these mallets made by a wood carver for me. It's a lot cheaper. Cheaper, and well, I mean, you can get them fit to your hand. Now you just give it a tap like so. Okay, and then as you see, there's a groove there. Now you do that all the way around your carving. So, like so. And then again, maybe we'll use the bigger mallet here. Like so. And just keep moving along. Now watch out for your fingers, as I said before. You do not want to cut yourself, trust me, it is not pleasant by all means. As I did it, I couldn't wood carve for quite a bit until it healed. It took almost 3-4 weeks for it to heal. So basically, yeah, you just basically take the gouge and you go around the whole thing, breaking the fiber, so that way when you come in like this, which I am going to show you later on in the video, it'll basically stop you, so that way you're not going into the actual carving itself, okay, into the picture. So yeah, when you come back, we'll basically show you how this is. So we're going to pause the video and we'll continue on.
Alright.
Okay, so we're back. So now what we're going to do is we're going to gouge towards. Now I went along with the gouge and basically took the mallet and banged all across the outline and around the outline of my border. Now, it doesn't have to be 100% because, like I said, you're going to be moving wood anyways, and as you go down, you're going to be moving and taking more as you go, and you're only going to go about so much around, and then you're going to go back and outline it again, and so forth and so forth, and just keep doing this and repeating it until you get it down to where you want it to be. Now, as I still have my stencil here, so I know where my lines are, and I know where my lines are on here. Now basically you just start reliefing, just like so. Now you see how I do that is I'm relieving all this wood, but see, because I did that chisel and the V-tool, it automatically chips off, as you can see, and it doesn't go into the actual carving, as you can see here, because you got that line there. So you just keep doing that over and over, just like so. Now, I mean, if you want to, you can take this mallet here and do it like so as well, and it'll slowly just start taking chunks off too. Now, I mean, you can go to bigger ones and get more power through if you want to, like so, get bigger chunks off. Now, as you see this, it's starting to lift up, and that's fine. I mean, you're basically taking all that off anyways. Now, as you see that, see, it just pops right off. Now, mind you, for doing this part, I'd prefer to use a smaller mallet. This part here gives you a little more control, as you can see here. And try to keep your gouge as straight as you can, but at the same time, let it kind of do like a slicing motion as you're doing it. It just seems to cut the wood a lot better, I find. So again, like so. And like so, and as I see, it doesn't touch it. So you're gonna end up with like a little edge, basically like that. An edge all around, like so. Now, I mean, you can clean all that up later on with a gouge. I mean, you can just kind of, you know, but I'll show you how to do all that later on anyways, in the video. So as we take out wood, and you know, just like I said, little bits at a time, like so. You don't want to go too far, too deep at first, you know. And like I said, you don't have to use a mallet. Both hands, add pressure, and just scrape, just like so. I mean, sometimes people have more control this way. You know, it's really to your own preference, really. Yeah, you can work a little faster this way if you're in a rush, or you know, you just want to hurry up and take it all away, like so. Now, I mean, you can sand all this down afterwards. It's completely up to you. Some people like the, you know, the tool marks in the wood. I preferably, you know, do. It just kind of gives it more of that detail and technique to it, texture. So, but we'll pause the video and we'll continue when I come back, when we get further along, and show you basically how we're going about. So, okay. So as you can see now, as we got it down a little deep on the one half, now we're still got to finish this half here, as we will. Now I had to move the clamps because the one clamp was in my way over here. But if you come, I'll bring the camera to this side. I'm going to just get some of that off there. And as you can see, there's kind of a little lip Okay, and what that does is, I mean, like I said, this is going to be your frame piece. So, I mean, you can put a border around here or something if you want, or leave it the way it is. That's totally up to you. But I like to have a lip, because then not only does it give the skull 3D, but it also makes the border stand out as well. So yeah, basically all I've been doing is just taking my number 5 gouge, and basically starting here at the border and going down like so, and I just keep doing like that. Now I use 2 hands, so you just kind of lift that up like that. Now you ain't got to worry so much about carving into the actual piece, as when we went around earlier, as I was explaining, and we did with the bigger gouge around like so. Okay, so that basically made a cut line and cut the fibers, as I like to call it, a stop line. So as you're going, it's gonna stop there. Okay, you're gonna feel like a little nub, and it's gonna stop. Okay, which is gonna create that lip. Okay, so as we go on, like so, around the edge. So, I mean, yeah, it'll shoot out like so, just, but don't worry, because that's gonna stop that. And yeah, you might have some marks around, like, see, it's not completely neat, but you know, we're gonna sand that down later on anyways. And as I said, be very careful, as they are sharp tools to use. You know, you don't necessarily need gloves, but you know, I mean, if you're just beginning out, gloves ain't really a bad idea to use. Now, to make the border, I just take the chisel the opposite way, and it'll pop. See, just like that, and pop it off. Now I got my border, as you can see there. See? And you got my border. Now you're going to keep bringing that down a bit, you know, so forth. You know, taking the chips off like that. You know. I mean, you can do it as little chips as you want. Now, if you got pieces like this that just won't come out, I mean, simply grab your other chisel that you made the line with and just rock it, and it'll come off. See? Just like that. Yeah, you got a little line there, but that's okay. You can clean that up. Like so. Just like that. Now I'm going to finish this other half here, and so I'll pause the video, and once I'm done this half here, I will continue the video so you can see how it looks on the first layer anyways. Okay?
Okay.
So, now that we got the inside down, I mean, we'll go a little bit deeper, but right now I just want to kind of show you on another piece. So for the inside, big pieces, I mean, a smaller gouge is probably your best choice. This one here is number 7, which has a little bit more of a round than the one I've been using on the number 5. So we're going to go with the number 7 now, and basically just the same ordeal technique, okay, like so. Just like that. But don't forget, when we do this, I mean, you could probably get away with using a skew chisel to do this part, a little mallet. Okay, so we need to make our indents here. So here, just like so. The reason why we do that, like I said, is to cut into the fibers, so that way you have a stop line. It's always good to have a stop line, at least I think so. That way you don't actually cut into the piece of art. that you are going to be using. Now this has a curve over here. Probably get away with a round gouge, yes. Like so. And we'll go back to the skew for here. Like so. Now we're on another curve. We're going to go back to the gouge. Like so. And flip it to get the other curve. Like so. And around this corner. Like that. Okay, so we have pretty much what we're looking for now. So, now I got this stuff here from Lee Valley. But I mean, you can buy your stuff from multiple places too. I mean, trade shows, you know. I find Lee Valley has basically everything I'm looking for in one stop. So, I mean, that'd be the place to do it. So now back to the number 7 gouge. Just gonna start taking pieces off like so. And as you see, I have that stop cut, so that way I don't cut more than I want to, which is a plus. And as I go down, I'm going down in cuts like this or like this. Okay, so that way it's cutting at the same time as I'm pushing. Now you don't have to, I mean, you can go straight if you want to. I just find it gives it a smoother cut as you turn. Always. So, that being said, I will finish up the rest of the big spots on the skull here. And I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alright, so now we're, I basically cut out the eyes, the nose, did a little bit of the detail. I haven't done the mouth yet. I'm going to wait until a bit later. Now, I went back around the outline with the chisel and the mallet to basically make more of an indentation there. Now I'm going to go back to my number 5 chisel and I'm going to bring the background down more. The reason why I'm doing that anyways is so this stands out more than what it is. So later on I can round it off so it kind of doesn't have this rough, jagged, yeah. So, anyways, as you just heard my cameraman, that is Gavin. So now we're going to go down here.
You want your clamps?
As you can see, we're just taking it down bit by bit around the frame or the border or whatever you want to call it, like so. And as we're also going to take some more off this end too. Now remember, you should always clamp down your wood, which I just forgot to do, so I will go ahead and do that now, but I will show you how to do it too, so you know, for all you viewers. So I always stick at the side. These are the clamps I got here. I just dropped one of the pieces off of it. Hold on one second.
I'll be fine.
Okay. So these are the clamps I got. Basically, they're just rubber on both ends here. Anyways, so just stick them down here like so. Put it tight. And just grip it. Now, one can do, but I like to use two. I mean, it's better to be safe than sorry. You don't want it sliding on you at all. Gives it that extra little bit there, just like that. Okay. And now we go at it. Just bringing it down a little more, just so it's got more of an edge to it. There'll be a few spots where you'll have to push down here just to get the chips up. For my first relief carving, it's kind of turning out pretty good. But I mean, I've also did chip carving, done electric Dremel work, stuff like that. So I mean, I have done carvings before, which will be in my other video. Anyways, I'm going to finish doing this here, and basically when I get back, once I got this further down, you will see basically what it looks like from there. So I'm going to pause it now, and we'll be back. So, okay, now that we've brought it down to the level that I want it down, basically now we got the scroll right there. Border, we're going to sand that off in a bit. So now basically all we're going to do is we're going to take our chisel and we're going to round it just like this, just slightly rounding it off like so, just to give it that extra little bit of detail. Like that. And we're going to do that all the way around. Kind of bring it into the wood. Okay, so I'm going to put the video on pause, and when I'm done this, I will continue. Okay, so now we got it rounded off. I did that with the chisel. Basically doing this here. Just taking off little bits here and there, all around the edges. So I did that all the way around basically, because I missed a few spots. And you can always go back, fix it up. Now, when it comes to smaller detail like the teeth, the eyebrows, stuff like that, I use my flex cut cutting knife. Now basically it's, you know, just go around the lines like this. On a 45-degree angle or so, like that. And then the same thing on the other side. It's okay if your wood doesn't come out at first. You just keep going over your cuts that you've already made, and then they'll just pop right out, like so. And then you go back and, you know, if you missed a spot or, you know, whatnot, you just fix that up. Like that. This is the easiest way anyways to do small detail work. Is better with a knife. Gives you a little more control, you know. So yeah, once I'm done the teeth, I'll be sanding it, get all the rough out of the sides and around the skull and on the skull and that. And I'll show you once I've done that. So I'm finishing up sanding now. And this is pretty much the finished product here. And that's basically what it'll look like when you're done. So yeah, that's enough there on that video for now. Hope you guys liked my first video and my first relief carving. I will be doing more, so keep tuned to my channel. Well, wish y'all luck on your project, and